still a part of who we are. Even though we feel that our beliefs are important, if it is not as important to the many, then it is not considered important to the whole. We should all be able to understand this in order to be a part of society, but this does not represent who we are and what we believe. Behaving well and practicing religion does not determine our beliefs. Many people use morals as a way to achieve personal goals. These are practices that have been learned from the beginning of civilization until now. We are not a person because of our work responsibilities or because of the opinions of others. Our actions do not define us, and decisions must be made in life that situations create, which we must decide ourselves. Some are decisions that do not make us happy, but they have to be made. Some are selfish that help us, hurt us, and sometimes both. So they must be made cautiously. We can only go so far in life, taking values in rewards, evaluating our achievements on if we get the same amount as the people around us. Do we do things to be rewarded for fame and recognition, or because we enjoy doing them? Is it important to consume, and does anyone really deserve what they get? Is man's desire only to be a human who wants or a human being? These ideas are always blurred by the needs of each person when children and family are concerned. According to the intellectuals, we live in two worlds that consist of immortality and reproduction. When a society lives in an environment that is hostile, the society focuses on being self-sufficient. When society is in an environment that is pleasing, it focuses on reproduction. These are not by any means higher instincts. Instead, they are basic understandings of the lower instincts. The importance of a person is not determined by marriage standards, judgments, accomplishments, or goals. Determining these things are not set by how smart a person is or isn't either. All of life is important, and the conservation of life is what truly matters, not the value that is determined. Governments once ruled by empires are now replaced with people who give consent, allowing themselves to be arrested and even institutionalized in some circumstances. Institutions dictate lives, replacing God with sovereignty and religion. Money is a part of marriage and now an institution, which is encouraged with incentives. Those who follow a sovereignty are obligated and responsible through oath and contract. Instead of honest decisions, we build character and negotiate among ourselves. We replace ideas that cannot be proven in order to explain away the ugliness of man's heart. Differences between the truth and lies are disguised with lofty words like free will and volition. In reality, though, we can no longer think for ourselves. Instead, we wish to be taught, controlled, and manipulated by others. To appease the masses, we create stories and fairy tales of false hope, freedom, and salvation, with some moral to each story, showing how human means can overcome nature. When civilization is at war, our leaders lie, manipulate, change allegiances and ideologies for personal goals and agendas. Differences between morals from beliefs are found throughout history. Ambassadors for a cause look for support and find failure, only to switch to the opposite side for favor and opportunity. choosing religious denominations for political goals, and splitting support among ranks strategically, using controversy and conspiracy to promote agendas, causes, or to achieve goals, wanting popularity and fame to gain power and pulp. Careers are built on educations, religion, and politics, with mansions, campuses, and colleges left as namesakes. Congressmen, presidents, ambassadors, prime ministers, delegates, professors, and researchers. Libraries are filled with man's reformations and revolutions. Searched throughout the world by collaborators and curators, men are all buried with their legacies, symbolized by carvings on their tombs, images and idols worshipped in life, man's motivation for success, and outward agenda which does not always reflect his beliefs. Most people who are intelligent can see through these plans and schemes. A person can lecture and write books about any subject, promotion, or motivation. What is seen written on that person's grave, though, is truly what was believed. Stories are hidden everywhere in both the truth and in the false. Puzzle pieces, misinformation, and clues. But if a person wishes to no longer be deceived, it is then his and her duty to discover the truth. When we wish to find the truth, clues begin to appear. When we discover clues, we begin to solve the puzzle. That is life. Throughout history, man has always used ritual burial as a form of worship. Man has always felt that the human consciousness and the soul survive after death. As far back as archaeologists have been able to go, evidence of this fact is clear. We not only dress and prepare our dead, we create rituals to send them on their way into the afterlife. Some religions believe that certain actions need to be taken in order to cause a needed effect in the afterlife as well. These facts can be found by studying the history of ancient Egypt as well as many other societies during those times. Societies that are bound geographically in the same regions of our planet. History has presented as many amazing facts about our past, showing rituals that our ancestors performed in structures built for their gods. Archaeologists have searched diligently in search for the origin of these rituals and the reasoning behind them. One thing is certain, though: as time goes by, these forms of worship always turns into some form of competition. Some would say that this in and of itself is a mystery, but I know better than that. Christianity itself holds the answer to my mystery. When Christianity first developed, there was never a golden age for the religion. Not everyone agreed on the same ideologies concerning Jesus, just as it is with other forms of religion. Christianity was broken down into factions. Most believe that searching into the far past only shows individuals who were ignorant. These people are far from knowing the truth of what was really going on, though. They were mystery schools in the past that taught their followers about the experience of death and rebirth in the here and now. Immortality of the human soul was the great question of the day. Because this was such a hot topic in those days, questions concerning Jesus himself was and is still a popular discussion. A lot of conspiracy theorists, theologians, and historians have noticed similarities between Egypt's paganism, the Christian Bible, and the Torah, a passage that has been overlooked repeatedly in the book of Revelations in the Christian Bible is a good example of this. It states that their dead bodies will lie in the streets of Sodom and Egypt, also indicating that this was where Jesus was crucified. That would be in Revelations 11:8. If you wish to check it out for yourself. Many pseudo-archaeologists and historians believe this verse to be proof stating that mystery schools in Giza actually did exist, that these facts indeed were covered up by popular Christian belief, claiming that our religious beliefs today are ethical and not mythical. The question then is this: is to question blasphemy, and to blasphemy to go to hell? Is it virtuous to follow blindly and not to question? Is blind faith the highest form of virtue when evidence shows that even Thomas was in doubt? Where one belief promises the rewards in the hereafter, the other promises the reality in the here and now. In Giza, their Egyptian ideologies promised the spiritual experience before death. These teachings, though, before the New Kingdom, were taught only to the elect few. Thus, the mystery school's origins are assumed to have started here. Some have even wondered how Jesus gained such knowledge, not taking into consideration that he was claiming to be the Messiah. And coming from Giza also brings questions of what his teachings actually were.